Middle school and high school math can be an intimidating subject for a lot of us homeschool moms. We want our kiddos to have a good experience, especially if we didn't have a great one. And we may be able to squeak by long division, but what in the heck is polynomial long division? So if you're looking for a solid math program that you don't actually have to teach, I may have the answer for you. Elizabeth, my college kiddo, thrived on Lyle Math and Math Mammoth. Math Mammoth when she was young. Lyle's in an online class in middle school and high school. They would have both driven Ben to tears. And who wants tears along with their long division? So Beast Academy and Life of Fred worked well for Ben. You guys know how much we love Beast Academy. But then I had to find something to do for algebra because that's where it ended. And I knew we didn't want to go on to the art of problem solving once. Because what I wanted for Ben's math were, 1, a self-paced class with online grading, preferably. 2, I wanted a middle-of-the-road program, something that was strong and a good program, but not super challenging. And 3rd, I wanted a program, and this may be the most important one, that didn't require pages and pages and pages of problems. Mr. D's met all 3 of those, and then add in a little bit of his quirky humor, and I knew we were going to have a fit for Ben. Before I tell you what I love about Mr. D's, a couple things. Mr. D's starts with a 5th grade math. They call it preparing for middle school, or preparing for pre-algebra. So 5th grade, and they go through calculus. They also have a project-based math. They have online classes and self-paced. So what do I love about Mr. D's? Because we are still using it. Number 1, self-paced classes means that they can speed up when they need to and slow down when they need. When kids have that opportunity to work at their own pace, 1, they're strengthening their skills because some things they may not need a lot of practice on because they just pick it right up. And the other areas they can really slow down until they've mastered it. That is so important with math. Without that foundation, everything gets harder and harder. It also means that they're boosting their own their confidence because they're not progressing in material until they're confident. And they're not watching other kids catch on quickly when they're still struggling. Because sometimes kiddos, their brains can work weirdly, and they may pick up on something really difficult like that, while something that seems really basic, they just take longer with. And that's okay. And that's where self-paced classes shine through over a live class. We're going to pause right here because I want to get on my soapbox. What is a soapbox, actually? People say it, but I don't know where that phrase comes from. If you do, let me know. One of my biggest goals as a homeschool mom is to help my kiddo enter the world confident in their math skills. Because so many parents, so many adults think they're terrible at math, say they hate math, they don't like math. Whatever, you may be one of them. The reality is that in the US, and this is a whole big, long topic, but on the math scale, we don't do a great job of teaching math. I don't want that for my kiddos, and I don't think you do either. So if we can set them up for a math program that teaches them the way they need, bingo. And I'm not someone who tries to avoid frustration with my kiddos. That's not a goal of mine. In fact, I want them to feel frustrated in math or in soccer or whatever, because it's an important life skill. But if every day they are frustrated in a subject, then chances are you need to make a change. Number 2, there's real life help. Some math programs, like teaching textbooks, Math Without Borders, they don't offer real life help for their self-paced classes. Mr. D's has a couple of times a week where you can hop on a Zoom call, show up, tell them what problems you're having, and they'll explain it. Between the videos and the answer key, which is included, and a little bit of help with PhotoMath app, if you don't know it, you probably want to get it. I'm confident that I can get to an answer, but I'm not confident that I can explain it well so that my kiddo really understands it. But being able to send him with a self-paced class, but send him live to someone who's an expert at explaining math, that's a big advantage. Number 3, speaking of videos, most of the videos are under 20 minutes, usually closer to 10 minutes. He gets right to the point and gets the job done. During the videos, your kiddo will work on the worksheets alongside him. That's how it's done, meant to be, because the worksheets are more like a note-taking. The videos are really targeted, so there might be more lessons in a chapter than in some other programs, but that's because the lessons are short. Focused, get the topic done, and move on. What they'll learn, they're going to learn really well. But they're not going to go as in-depth as some programs. And for most kiddos, that's perfect. Most kids don't need to go as in-depth as some programs. No shame in that. Absolutely no shame in that. It's going to be a very solid math program, comparable to what most of us had in school. Sounds great, Tricia, but who's it not good for? I like to share this information because I want to make sure I'm giving a balanced opinion on programs. And I don't want for you to walk away from this video thinking it sounds fantastic and perfect, only to find out that one of your kids in one of these cautions that I'm going to put up without me telling you that. So, who's it not great for? If your kiddo is behind, whatever that means for your family, or struggles more than the average kiddo, Mr. D's might be a good fit because they can work at their own pace. You have more than a year to get through the program, so you've got plenty of time. But they may need something like Denison math or learn math fast. If you don't know Denison is specifically for students who struggle or really hate math. If you have a kiddo who needs a lot of practice problems, Mr. D's may not be a good fit. Elizabeth would not have become as strong of a math student as she is if we'd used this. It may seem paradoxical that you don't want a program with a lot of practice problems for math, right? Because in our minds, the more you do it, the better you get. If you have a kiddo, though, who picks up on things quickly and becomes frustrated by doing that repetition, then repetition isn't going to benefit you. Elizabeth was quick to catch on to math concepts, but she really needed that practice to solidify it. Ben's a whole nother bird, and he did not. Matthew is kind of somewhere in the middle of those two. So, different kiddos, and that's the flexibility of homeschooling. If your kiddo is heading to a math field in college, a STEM-based field, then you might want to look at Math Without Borders instead. It uses Forrester textbook plus videos, so you still get the self-paced nature of it, but it's a stronger program. If your kiddo, though, picks up math really quickly, in theory, you could make it through more than one course in a school year, course and a half, which would then allow them to finish early and get Calc 2 or dual enrollment their senior year. Still, I would probably lean towards something else in that situation. Now, if you're ready for a more in-depth review of Mr. D's, click on the video on your screen, and I will see you over there.